Hello friends, Namaskar. Welcome to Veena's Kitchen Table. Great dishes are often discovered by chance, and one such is the biryani. Combining together rice and meat and throwing in some spices, some cook centuries ago gave us this legendary dish. God bless his soul. The biryani has got different versions to it. I have tried my hand at a few of them, and I must tell you, each one is exceptional and unique. Today I bring to you chicken biryani, the way I make it at home often. God willing, I'll share with you the other versions of biryani as well, both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So let's not wait. Let's start making our chicken biryani. Welcome back friends. So let's start making our chicken biryani. So I'll show you the first step that goes into making the chicken biryani, and that is to marinate our chicken. We'll marinate our chicken with a few things and keep it aside for about half an hour. So for marinating our chicken, we need about half cup of curd, thick curd I've taken. I'm adding here about a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of red Kashmiri chili powder, half teaspoon of coriander powder, and ginger garlic paste. I've taken here about 8 cloves of garlic and about 2 inches of ginger. I have made it into a fine paste and I'm going to add it to the chicken. I'll squeeze the juice of half a lemon. Just squeeze it into your hands so that the seeds come into your hands. And I'm adding in about a teaspoon of salt, a little over a teaspoon of salt, and we are going to marinate it. I've rubbed in all the ingredients and I leave the chicken to marinate in the marinade for about half an hour. You could leave it for more time as well, maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. That will allow the chicken to absorb the masalas well. So right now let's leave it for half an hour. Now let's see the next step, and that is our ingredients for the masala. To make our chicken for the biryani, we need about 4 medium-sized onions. I have finely diced them. I've put them in a chopper and finely diced them fine. This is for the gravy. I have taken here 2 large tomatoes and finely diced them. So this is about 2 cups of onions and about 2 cups of tomatoes diced. Here I have the remaining spices. I had used part of my spices to marinate the chicken. So I have here about half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoons of red Kashmiri chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. I've taken about 5 green chilies and split them half. I have taken a bunch of coriander leaves. It's a good full cup of coriander leaves and half a bunch of mint leaves finely diced. As you can see, you have here the garam masala, which is sabut or whole. Now I'm going to dry roast these sabut masalas and make it into a fine powder. This is the powder that I will use as my biryani masala powder. We get to buy biryani masala of different brands off the shelf. You could use that as well. But I prefer to make the biryani masala fresh. The flavor that comes out of it is really quite different from what you get from ready-made masalas. Now here we have 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, half tablespoon of fennel seeds, fennel that is saunf, about half tablespoon of jeera that is cumin seeds. I have taken 2 black cardamoms. I have taken here about 9 cloves, and you can see the cinnamon pieces. If you see them, it will be around 1.5 inches. of cinnamon pieces. Taken 4 pieces like this. Here I have 1 teaspoon of peppercorns. I have taken about 9 green cardamom, 1 star anise, 1 bay leaf. If you have shah jeera is another a different kind of a cumin seed, slightly smaller than the jeera that we normally use for cooking. You could take 1/4 teaspoon of shah jeera. If you do not have it, you could just skip it. And I have taken a small piece of nutmeg. So these are the ingredients that we need to make our biryani masala. Chicken biryani, of course, is a wonderful combination of chicken and rice. So here we have the next important ingredient, and that is the rice. We have taken about 900 grams of chicken. So the weight of the rice also should be equal to that of the chicken. So I have taken here 900 grams of rice. One of the secrets behind a very good chicken biryani is the quality of the rice that we use. Ideally, the basmati rice would go best for chicken biryani. I have taken here long grain basmati rice. We must wash the rice well and then soak it in clean water for about half an hour to 40 minutes. This will make our rice grains to bloom and take its optimum size once it's cooked. For the final garnishing, we have some things here. Here I have browned onions. I have taken 2 onions, sliced them thin and fried them to this perfect golden brown color. Make sure that it doesn't turn darker because then it turns bitter. This is the ideal color that we need. I have some raisins and cashew nuts which I have fried and kept aside. Here I have few rings of lemon, half cup of milk. I have here saffron powder, a pinch of saffron powder, food grade powder this is. Now I'm going to add it to the milk and just mix it. Here we have kevda water. You ask any grocery and they can provide you with kevda water. Kevda water adds a lot of flavor to your biryani, which essentially with chicken or mutton, kevda water goes really well. So a teaspoon of kevda water at the end, when we are layering our biryani, we will add to the pot. So let's not wait anymore. Let's get started. So we've kept our pot on the fire. I'm going to add the oil. You can see this is the oil that I used to brown my onions. So I'm going to use the same oil because it's full of the flavor of browned onions. It will give a good flavor to our biryani. And I have put in about 3 teaspoons of oil and about half a teaspoon of ghee. Once the oil is hot, we'll drop in the onions. We'll fry our onions till they turn into a nice golden brown. We don't want it to turn too dark, just about a light golden brown. While our onions are sauteing, I have kept another pot to cook the rice. So I have put enough water in the pot. I'll drop in a bay leaf. I have my small potli into which I am going to drop in 5 green cardamoms, an inch of cinnamon and 5 cloves. I'll close the potli and drop it into the water. I'll add salt as well to the water. The whole spices will give flavor to the rice, but I do not want to bite into them. That's why I have used the potli. What you could do is tie them in a nice clean muslin cloth and drop it in the water. I'm adding salt. I'll add about 2.5 teaspoons of salt because remember we are going to drain the rice. The water will go. So the salt will be fine for the rice. We'll bring the water to a boil and then add our rice to it. The water has started boiling, so it's time to add our rice. We'll cook the rice till it's half done and Then of course we have to layer it with the chicken and bake it. Make sure that you are very gentle while you are stirring the rice, because we have soaked the grains of rice for more than half an hour, so they are very delicate. We don't want our rice grains to break. So we'll wait for the water to boil. So while our rice is ready to boil, our onions are almost changing color. Make sure that you stir them occasionally. We don't want them to turn black or catch to the bottom of the pot. Yeah, our onions are coming to the final color that we need. In the meantime, the water has boiled. I left the rice in the boiling water for about 1 minute, and you can see the grains. Our rice is partially done, and this is the time we need to stop the fire. You can see that the grains are nice and they've bloomed so well. They've become long. You just press it with your fingers and it cuts into two. That's the time that we need to stop the cooking. We don't want to overcook our rice. So at this point we're going to drain our rice. Now our onions are beautifully done. At this point we'll add the dry spices. I'm adding in the turmeric, the Kashmiri red chili powder and the coriander powder. Before we add the tomatoes, we'll add our spices so that they fry and we get rid of the raw smell. The raw smell of our masalas have gone, and it's time to add our tomatoes. As soon as we add our tomatoes, we'll add a little salt. Remember that we've added salt to the chicken as well. So we'll add about a teaspoon of salt so that our tomatoes start sweating and they cook till they become soft. So we'll wait for that. Mix all the ingredients well, and now we'll close the pot and wait for the tomatoes to turn soft. We'll check on our tomatoes. Yeah, they're becoming nice and soft. At this point, we'll put our green chilies, a small quantity of mint leaves, and a small quantity of coriander to the mixture so that the flavor comes into the masala well. As you can see, the tomatoes have become nice and soft and pulpy, and you can see the oil glistening on the edges. So it's time to drop in our chicken that has been marinating for more than half an hour. Always remember the ground rule. When we put our chicken in the pot, keep your fire on high. Let the chicken pieces feel the heat, and the heat will sear the chicken quickly so that it remains very juicy and succulent within. Our chicken has been cooking in its juice for some time. You can see this beautiful color, and the oil has started to separate. At this point we'll add about a teaspoon and a half of our very aromatic garam masala. Give the curry a nice mix. The masala is frying well, and now it's time to add a little water to our curry. I've taken about 1 cup of hot water. Please do not add cold water. That should be enough. And now we'll close the pot and let the chicken cook till it is almost done. We'll just check on our chicken. The curry is boiling. It smells really good. The gravy is thickening up. We need this gravy so that our rice is moist when we layer it. That's why we've kept a little gravy. Otherwise it dries out and then the biryani is really not so good. We need our chicken to be 3/4 done because we are going to bake it along with the rice for some time. Let's check the chicken, how it is done. We take a fork and just press it and see. Yeah, it's almost ready for us to put for baking. Switch off the flame and then we'll layer the biryani. and go to the next step. So friends, now let's start the final stage of our biryani, and that is layering our biryani and then keeping it for baking for some time. So for that, I have taken a pot. This is an aluminium white based pot. You could use even a dechi or any other pot of your choice. Only thing that we need to keep it for baking. If you do not have an oven, no problem, you can keep it on a tawa for some time, and then that would give the same effect as well. So this is our pot, and into the pot I'll drizzle in a little ghee at the bottom and then a layer of rice. Now we are going to add the chicken gravy to the rice. We'll preferably put the gravy because this is the last or the lowermost layer and we don't want it to become dry. And now let's add another thin layer of rice, just about that much. And let's start putting our chicken along with the gravy. Now I'm going to sprinkle some coriander leaves, some mint and some brown onions. The next layer of rice comes. At this point, I'll just drizzle a little ghee. I've melted the ghee and put in 2 small spoons of ghee. Add the browned onions and now the rice. We keep repeating this procedure till we reach the final layer. You can sprinkle a little garam masala. Now we'll just place these lemon discs on top and put in our final layer of rice. Sprinkle a little garam masala on top, a teaspoon of kevda water, just sprinkle it, and finally the milk with the saffron color. And now we will close it tight. Either you can use dough to seal the edges of your pot because we need all the flavors to remain inside, but I'll be using aluminium foil for sealing my pot. I've sealed the pot well with the aluminium foil. Make sure that there is no gap left. We do not want any steam to escape from the pot. So it should be airtight completely. And on top of this, I'll keep the lid of this pot so that ensures that everything remains inside. If you do not have an oven, you could keep this pot on a tawa. Let the tawa heat up well and keep the pot on it and keep the flame on low and leave it for about half an hour. That would work equally well just as an oven. I've placed the pot in the oven. It's really hot and I leave it there to bake for about 20 to 30 minutes. We've brought out our pot of biryani and let's open it. It's hot. It's Smells really good. And now we'll dish out our biryani into a plate. Dear friends, here's a plateful of very delicious chicken biryani for you. I can't tell you how aromatic my whole kitchen is right now. With a wonderful dish of raita and a pickle of your choice and a hot papad with a steaming cup of black tea or Suleimani, this is a heavenly lunch or dinner. So let's start making our chicken biryani. Let's not wait. Let's start cooking. If you enjoy my videos, do share with me your comments and your valued opinions, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.